In studio right now, we want to say hello to Dana, Nimey-Olney and Judy Mallozzi. Do I say that right? Mallozzi. Is it L's before Z?
I believe it's M-A-L-L.
Oh, on one sheet it's written that way. The other one, it's written the other way. That's okay.
Andrew was hungry. He wrote mozzarella.
Mozzarella. I could have. It could have been my dyslexia coming out. Okay, Judy, you are the village historian.
I am.
And if you could get really tight onto that microphone. And, of course, Dana, good morning. Good to see you.
Yes.
So you guys worked together and you wrote this book here.
Actually, we brought you one.
I love these books.
I collect them as well. And that's actually, we signed it for you. So.
That is very nice. This is the whole book on Whitesboro. Images of America, Whitesboro, New York. So what's in here?
Lots of old pictures.
Yeah.
Of old Whitesboro.
Which not a lot of people know how important and influential Whitesboro and Whitestown has been.
That's why we wanted to do
not
the
just
book.
here, but in New York State, right?
Yeah.
And Judy, you want to touch on that a little bit? Whitestown, in particular, was pretty large in the day.
We went all the way from the Vermont border to the Canadian border, the town of Whitestown. And so all of the other areas, even New Hartford, Kirkland, all through there, have broken off from the town of Whitestown originally.
How about that? I never knew that.
It was called the Mother of All Towns.
The Mother of All Towns.
Yes.
Now, of course, a while back we had the seal controversy, which was quite exciting on Comedy Central and all that. I kind of enjoyed it.
Do you know I have an IMBD page now because I was on Comedy Central?
Oh, so you had to have the...
No
I just found that out.
That is really cool.
That's frightening, but okay.
Well, you were certainly on there in defense of what this means, in defense of the community, because around the country they were trying to look at it like this was some just white supremacy thing. Meanwhile, that's all over the rest of the country, not necessarily.
Well, that's how I think it
here.
It started with the Confederate flag, and it kind of made its way up here.
Yeah, but there's something new that just happened that is unbelievable. And I'll let you guys reveal it.
Well, we always had wanted the seal to be recreated and have it more authentic because it historically wasn't correct. And our history is from that seal and the wrestling match, and Dana can tell you.
And a positive wrestling match.
A positive.
Unlike the original seal that did sort of look like he was choking him out.
Right, but they were friends.
They were
United
friends.
Indians at the time.
So are you happy with the redo of the logo? You're glad that the seal has changed?
Very much.
Well,
It's what we wanted.
Regardless of anything else, it's just graphically done better. It's much nicer looking.
Might have said during that whole process that it looked like maybe a little kid.
I did.
Which is probably what it was. It's like, hey, little Jimmy Walker over there from out in Whitestown made this seal. He's in first grade. And what a great job he did. So, but now there's a new seal, and there's new news on the seal, which I think is really amazing.
We were contacted a couple weeks ago by the curator of the political history department at the Smithsonian in D.C., and they wanted our old seal as part of their archives. So to take it down there.
That is so cool.
Whitesboro is now part of the Smithsonian Institute.
How about that? That is really cool.
And the twist is, why did they want it?
They collect anything that's political. I mean, they
History,
literally
historic.
They go out,
changes in times, and
they go out, and this is what they were explaining to me when I was down there. They go out like whenever there's any kind of protest on the mall or any kind of demonstration. They go out there and they collect signs and banners and anything, and they keep it in the archives, whether they ever use it for anything or not. But it's always there. It's always part of the museum.
That's pretty cool. So they wanted the original one.
Well, the one we just changed.
They want the new one. No, they wanted the right. There have been more than
there's been a few.
There has been a few.
But I took him down depictions of all of the ones.
Oh, okay, so they have all of them.
But the main thing that they do have is an old sign out of the Village Green that has the one that we just replaced.
Okay,
which is what they wanted.
And when they looked at the one that was replaced, were they like, yeah, it does look like he's choking him?
They don't.
No comments.
They
out
don't
of them?
give any kind of their opinions on stuff like that. They just their job is just to
archive,
collect and preserve.
Judy, your take on all of it? Pretty cool, huh?
It is pretty cool. And the whole thing about history now, it's finally with the United History Center,
Yeah.
Oneida County History Center, getting things going. And we're trying to get some young people, the schools, to teach more history, local history. And so it is kind of an exciting time for the Bag Square situation and the Erie Canal that we just celebrated.
Right,
and
right. So tell me about what do you have in this book? And I'll ask both of you separately. Dana first. Pick a couple things out of this book that you guys did that are your favorites.
My
you personally.
favorite thing is definitely the old town hall, which was the original court building for Oneida County, built in 1807. So, and we still use it as a court. So it's been
That was the Oneida County Courthouse?
It was Oneida, yeah. In 1807 when it opened, it was the first courthouse for Oneida County until 1853 when they opened the one in Utica.
And each picture, these books are just the best.
They are.
And you can get them at Barnes & Noble,
Yep.
Amazon, all over the place. But each picture has the caption that tells the story. I love them. I think they're really...
Unfortunately, we're limited on what they let us
I know.
word-wise, because we when we did the book and we sent it to them, it's like you got to lose 10,000 words.
Yeah.
It's like you want to say so much and you can't say everything you want to
It's
say.
a lot of words to lose. Judy, do you have a favorite in the
My
book?
favorite thing is nothing had been done in quite a few years for the history of Whitesboro, and we had all these stories and all these things in our museum, and now to have it out there, and the best part about it is you get all the feedback from the people that do collect the books or have read it.
Yeah.
Have taken it to the schools and given it to them, and they have stories. So when they come to the museum, they're going to tell you stories that each picture in there maybe brought to their mind.
Yeah,
so,
it's really cool.
yeah, it
That's
is.
awesome. I'm glad you guys did it. These are, and I didn't realize that local people wrote. So you have knowledge, obviously, of Whitesboro. So you guys contacted the publisher.
They
How does that-
contacted Judy.
For
actually.
7
okay.
years, they had been asking Whitesboro to do a book,
All
and
right.
I couldn't get anybody to do it with me. And then when Dana was hired as the clerk, she's a young person that likes history, which
Yeah.
is very rare. And she
You're
said,
rare, Dana.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's rare.
yeah, I guess so.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
And so she said she'd do it with me, and it took
Very
us
nice.
about 6 months, but we got
Cool.
it done.
A lot of photos to go grab and get. That's really
And
neat.
a lot of them were in our collection.
So of the places though that are still here, if we were to do this book 100 years down the road, and businesses that are at their peak right now, whether it's a fish shop or a pizzeria or an ice cream place, what in 100 years, what do you think the pictures will be focusing on? People are like, oh my God, I remember that place. Not saying that they're going to go out of business, but let's just say we're looking from 100 years down the road.
Joe's Pizza's always been
Joe's
a-
Pizza is
thinking
awesome.
the same
Yeah.
thing.
or Star Bakery.
Star Bakery. I mean, there's some great. Whitesboro has some great spots.
Yeah.
You know, interestingly, you mentioned Star Bakery. I believe the founder or the former owner just recently passed within the last couple of weeks.
I don't know that.
And I just, as I'm looking through here, a couple of other things. The Whitestown Printing Company. Another one that caught my attention here is the Whitestown National Bank.
Right?
I mean, did every little community have its own bank like
Well,
that?
Whitesboro was really, and Whitestown was actually, it was a center for a while
Yeah.
with a lot of main
Well,
things in it.
actually, in the beginning, we had a bigger population than Utica before it was a city.
Right.
So there was a lot more activity there.
Yeah.
And hopefully people are going to say when they see our town hall, our right in the village green, which is on the historic register, in which we just got a grant through Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi, we're going to get the windows historically.
Okay, so they'll be redone,
Redone
but staying within the historic.
A 200-plus-year-old building needs a lot of care.
Sure does. I can only imagine. Well, listen, great book. It's available all over the place, and it's entitled Whitesboro. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
this latest thing. Being placed into history, the seal. That's pretty cool, too. So,
It is.
all right. No Comedy Central here.
No, I hope
All
not.
right.